he says, but Karl, he says, there's a lot more people, the new generation, are digging what people like me are saying. And I said, look, I'm not saying anything different than my grandfather told me, and his grandfather told me. I said, all I'm telling you is the old stuff. I said, what made the United States great? I said, I'm not telling you anything that's unique to me. I said, this is how my grandfather believed and what he believed in. And there was no common language in this country. I mean, you had French, you had English, you had German, you had Dutch, you had all kinds of people in this country first started. This is a 500-year-old country. And people don't realize there's 300 years of history prior to the revolution. Yeah. So people don't look at it that way like I do. It's like, I remember the first 300 years. You people are not forgetting that this was a wild, frontier. This is wild, wild west. Right. The people had to do, their own guile. They had to use their own, to figure out how they're going to make it. Just drop you off in a woods somewhere, 200, 300, 500 years ago, and think you're going to survive? Oh, these guys must have been crafty. Yeah. To survive. There was no lifeline back home to mommy in England or France or Germany. These guys had to make it on their own. Whatever they brought with them, that's all they had.
That's why we value our right to self-defense so much here.
Yeah.
We know our ancestors knew it was like defense.
Right, even if it is self-defense, our right for survival.
Right.
Our right for self-governance. Well, that's what I told everybody. I said, thank God Barack Obama said that last week, because I guarantee everybody thought I was effing freaking nuts. Because every time I got on the Angela's call or anything like that, I'd say to everybody, because did you hear me say that last week? I said, what kind of government do we have in this nation? No. But what kind of government do we have in this nation?
You asking me a question?
Yeah.
What kind of government do we have here?
Yeah, in this nation, yeah.
It's actually a corporate mafia. Is what it is.
Okay. Well, did you ever hear that it's a land of the self-governing?
Yeah.
This is the great experiment of the self-governing.
Right.
That's what this nation is. This is a nation of self-governing. No, what it is. Because even Barack Obama said this at 8:18 a.m. He said it on October 17th. He said, let's work together to make the government work better, instead of treating it like an enemy, or making it worse, period. That's not what the founders of this nation envisioned when they gave us the gift of self-government, period. So even Barack Obama acknowledges that the greatest gift our great-great-great-grandfathers gave us was the right to self-govern. That was so fucking powerful. It's the first time in my lifetime, I've been on a planet Earth 50 times around the sun now, that I ever seen the president admit that, or his speechwriters admitted, that this is a nation of self-government. No democracy, no republic. This is self-government. The nation is the people. The nation is not the United States government. The nation is a group of people, not a group of state agents or federal agents or United States government agents. The nation means the people. The people are self-governing. They don't need the United States government. They don't need a state government. They are self-governing. This is the great experiment of the self-governing. That's what you are. Now, if you wish...
That would be sovereign?
No. Sovereign means that you could defy law, that you could create your own law, which means gravity does not exist on planet Earth. When you fall down, you actually float up if you wish, because a sovereign is not bound by any law, including gravity, including the law of time or death. You could take a bullet to your head, you're going to be fine. Why? Because you defy all laws. That's what God can do. God is the only true sovereign. There is no law that binds him. He can do whatever he wishes. At this point, in the third dimension, I can't. In the fourth dimension, when I go to sleep, oh yeah, sure, I can float. Oh sure, I can take a bullet in my head and keep coming after the bad guy. But that's not in the third dimension. In the fourth dimension, I'm a sovereign. You better believe it. I kick ass in the fourth dimension. Both monsters better back off quick. I'm going to kick their ass. But in this dimension, no, I'm bound by law. Law of gravity, law of relativity, law of time, law of physics. I'm bound by all kinds of laws. I'm not sovereign. Not by a long shot. Not in this dimension. Not in the third dimension. But you see what I'm trying to say? The speechwriter finally admitted it. Finally. And right there, to me, is, hey, this government is wide open. This government is telling you folks the truth. The United States government is not bullshitting you. They are putting it right out there. Now, if you want to understand what the United States government is trying to tell the people that controls it, God bless you. If you don't, they put it right out there. They gave you full disclosure. Full disclosure. I mean, if that sentence wasn't beyond powerful, I said, oh my God. I was listening to BBC or NPR, one of those Fruit Loop liberal, Joe Dandy, whatever, radio station, limberist radio stations, because I like the other side's got to say. Educational. Right. That's what they're saying. National broadcast, national educational.
NPR.
Right. Yeah, that's what we get up here in the mountains. We only get NPR. Oh, we get Sesame Street, and that's all we get. We get that kind of something. But what's great, it lets me hear what the other side's got to say.
Right.
I'm telling you, at 8 o'clock in the morning, at 8:18 on October 17th, that man uttered it, and I heard it on an effing radio. And I was like, my God, full disclosure. He is telling you what is true. He is not bullshitting you. There is no Obamacare. There is no Social Security. There is no IRS. There is no. He told you. He told you. It came right out of his mouth. His speechwriters put it in front of the cue card, and he told you the truth. Now, if you people want to keep believing all this other crap, well, you go and do it. He flat out told you, it's all on you, baby. It's all on you. Now, if you want to believe him, believe him. Because I was beating my head through a wall trying to convince you people that this is the land of the self-governing. But he's like, Carl's Looney Tune. Oh, Carl's all footy loop tubes. Oh, Carl's insane. Carl's crazy. This is a democracy. This is a republic democracy. Oh, this is a mafia, whatever. No, it ain't. It's the land of the self-governing. Yes, we are. That's the greatest gift our grandfathers killed and died for, that we have the right to go from point A to point B, and nobody can get in our way. It's that simple. There is nothing else. That's it. That's it. That's all your grandpappy told you. What were you doing? Playing Nintendo? What were you? When your grandpappy told you that? Well, I guess I was kind of busy smoking dope, driving my 57 Chevy. Yeah, well, maybe you should listen to your grandpappy every now and then. He was trying to tell you. And that's all I'm trying to tell you, folks. You guys are just missing this. It's simple. I was taught very simply. My dad couldn't read or write English. There you go. That really helped me a lot. Because he wasn't bamboozled by a lot of bullshit. He just had to know what worked for him off the top of his head. He couldn't rely upon a book. He couldn't rely upon anything he read. He had to go out there and experiment and live his life and say, hey, dude, this is what I see out here in the streets. This is what works and this what don't work. Thank God he was in a reform school almost his whole entire life. After his dad went back to Germany after World War II, he was left in New York City streets. He was a tough little bastard. So thank God, man, that I got taught street smart from him. And my mom was a straight A high school student from Old Dominion in New York City, an all-business Catholic girls' school. And she finished at the top of her class. She won 6 out of 10 awards for her graduating class. And she was beautiful. She looks like freaking Elizabeth Taylor in a yearbook. She was gorgeous. She's got that blue eye. She's got the black hair. She was gorgeous. I got a good gene fucking pool I got from. But like I said, thank God, I got a bookworm mom who worked for the IRS for 30 years, and I got a street punk dad who was a Navy guy. I mean, what a combination. So I got the street smarts from him, and I got the book from her, and I just was able to put the two together and say, hey, you know what? That's way too complicated what she's doing. And hey, you know what? You don't got to keep it in the gutter. Let's get it out. And I'm just mixing the two together and said, here you go. Here's the combination of the two. Simplicity mixed with pure logic. There you go, folks. And I put it together.
He's talking about self-governing. Do you think it's still like that today?
Absolutely. All my paperwork is self-governing. Every time the judge reads it, they laugh their ass off. They go, yes, sir. Not a problem. And the prosecuting attorneys don't know what the fuck to do. Because I'm putting them right in their place. Are you trying to tell me, one of the self-governing, are you trying to govern me? I'm self-governing. Is that what you're trying to do? Are you trying to tell me what to do? If you are, I'll be glad to accept your order. But believe me, you're going to compensate me once I carry out your order. And I want money as a form of compensation. But I will carry out another man's order. But I'm not carrying out a public servant's order. No. I'm carrying out another man's order. You want to order me as a man? Man on man? You going to order me? Do it. I'll carry out your order. You want to compensate me? Here's the bill. But if you think I'm going to kiss a public servant's ass and you don't think I'm self-governing and you think you're going to govern me, you're going to force me to be governed and directed and steered by your crazy beliefs and your crazy codes, and you think I'm going to worship under you? You think I'm going to petition you? Because that's what petition means. It means that you are inferior and you are praying or begging for mercy to a superior.
Yeah.
So, I don't petition shit. I petition God. You better believe I petition God a dozen times a day. But I'll never petition any man. I'd rather die. So just do what you're going to do, dude. Because if you don't, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do it to you anyway. So you might as well do what you're going to do. But I only petition God. And that's what I tell people. What's all the silly petition shit? You make a claim. You give your public servant notice, just like you give your maid a button notice. I'm giving you notice, buddy. Ship up or shape out. You're gonna shape it up. You're gonna ship out one way or the other. I don't care. I'm giving you notice. I'm putting you on notice. Back off or do your damn job and leave me alone. I'll let you know when I need you. I don't require you at this time. So that's basically, that's just how I roll, man. And I'm just